Congress is working to pass a new budget bill that will include tax breaks and a reduction in federal spending. Republicans insist they will not be cutting programs like Medicaid and SNAP that people rely on, but that may not be entirely true. Dennis Owens is here now with that story. Good afternoon to you, Dennis.
Good afternoon. For the record, you are a handsome team. But we have heard it. Republicans insisting they're only looking to eliminate waste, fraud, and abuse in programs intended for lower-income Americans. But the state's independent fiscal office crunched the numbers on those budget proposals in D.C. and said there would be cuts. In SNAP or food stamps, the feds pay for the program and split the administrative cost 50-50 with the states. Well, the proposal in D.C. calls for the states to pay 75% of administrative costs, which is well over $100 million in PA. Also, a proposal would reduce the federal reimbursement to states based on a state's error rate. That is, are states doing their best to make sure there aren't overpayments? PA's error rate's about 11%. The bills would penalize states for anything over 6%. So it would send fewer dollars, meaning fewer people could be covered by those programs. Governor Shapiro estimates 140,000 Pennsylvanians would lose access to SNAP.
I have made very clear Pennsylvania can't backfill those cuts on Medicaid or on SNAP. And there's real question as to whether or not we'd even be able to operate SNAP any longer, given the change in the formula and given the people that are going to be knocked off.
And again, Congress still trying to hash out specifics, and those specifics are important. If Congress doesn't, quote unquote, cut people from programs, but tweak formulas so they send less money to the state, the governor argues that's a distinction without a difference. And James, I've spoken with the head of Pennsylvania's independent fiscal office, nonpartisan, just looking at the numbers, because he has to do 5-year budget projections. And he says, hey, if we're getting significantly less money, that's going to impact negatively, of course, future budgets. So that's a big deal. Speaking of budgets, so while the feds are working on a budget here in Harrisburg,
yes.
Today is June 30th, magical day, budget is due, budget not done.
Budget not done.
Budget not done.
It probably won't be done.
Won't be for several days, I don't think. Yeah.
But I mean, and back to this the federal budget spending that they're working on right now as we speak. You know, Governor Shapiro's been speaking out against this for quite some time.
He has. So have Democrats have been widely. But again, the Republicans have been saying, hey, look, we're just trying to clean up waste, fraud, and abuse, which everybody would agree. We got to clean up waste, fraud, and abuse. That's for sure. But they're using ways to send less money. And as Governor Shapiro says, that's a distinction. You didn't cut it, but you sent less money. That's a cut.
Yeah, I mean, cleaning up the wasteful spending is one thing, but then the consequences of that's what everyone has to deal with afterwards.
On the other hand, and people would argue, we've got a $37 trillion debt in the United States. We've got to start cutting some things somewhere, and whenever you cut anything, you're hurting somebody somewhere. So that's the conundrum.
And hence the dilemma of lawmakers and what they are doing and working on every single day.
Exactly right.
All right, Dennis, thank you very much for that. We really appreciate it this afternoon. Now,
Hi, I'm Eric Finkenbinder from ABC 27. We're excited to announce the new ABC 27 News Plus app. Live stream newscasts or watch content on demand. This is different than the ABC 27 app on your smartphone. You can check this out at home, and it's very easy to use. With a Fire Stick, go to the home page, scroll down to search. From there, enter ABC 27. Move over to the apps, and there we are. Click the icon and install. It's just that easy.